I made it in like 7 minutes, so I was pretty pumped about that. Cool. Okay, Dal, do you want me to mic up or are we good?
I got this mic so we can catch everybody's audio
Okay,
today.
cool,
A little better.
cool.
So we should be good.
Sweet. We'll do the raffle names and everything afterwards. But introductions. What's up, guys? What are your names?
I'm Devin.
Devin?
Yeah.
Devin, good to meet you. Your name? Damien.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm Nathaniel.
Nice to meet you.
So how do you guys know this guy?
We worked with him and he's just a good friend.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
No,
Huh?
I just worked with each other.
You're just work acquaintances, not friends, right?
No, these guys are way cool, super sharp.
Sweet. Well, welcome. Super excited to have you guys here. I'm Nathaniel. I'm over all of our training at New Star, so anything sales training related, let me know. Make sure you get my number to them.
I will.
You guys run across anything, I'm just a phone call or text message away. Okay, Devin and Damien, right? Okay, cool, awesome. And this is Paul. This is Carlos. Paul is pretty new to this in his second week, and then Carlos is a seasoned vet. We just call him Grandpa now, so he's Grandpa Carlos.
Grandpa Carlos.
Okay, sweet. All right, guys. Got a thought I want to start out with. So it's called the 30-second rule. And so I'm going to share this one, and then I'm also going to talk about the 5-second rule. How many of you guys have read the 5-second rule? Have you guys heard of that book? Okay. Written by Mel Robbins. It's in our Audible app. Definitely recommend that one. Don't read it, just listen to it, because she narrates it, and she's phenomenal. Super entertaining.
So login for the Audible.
Yep, that's the login right there for our Audible app. And that's free. That's open game to anyone that wants to use it. But, okay, so starting out the 30-second rule. When most people meet others, they search for ways to make themselves look good. The key to the 30-second rule is reversing this practice, okay? When you make contact with people, instead of focusing on yourself, search for ways to make them look good. Every day before I meet with people, I pause to think about something encouraging I can tell them. What I say can be one of many things. I might thank them for something they've done for me or a friend. I might thank them for something they've done. I might tell others about one of their accomplishments. I might praise them for a personal quality they exhibit. Or I might simply compliment their appearance. The practice isn't complicated, but it does take some time, effort, and discipline. The reward for practicing it is huge, because it really makes a positive impact on people. Take 30 seconds with each person you meet today to add value to them, okay? So, 30-second rule helps with first impressions when you're on the doors, okay? Small compliments that are sincere and accurate go a long way, okay? If you know the guy is super stoked about his big truck sitting outside, the big rims, you know, maybe he just got a wax job on it, and it's something that you feel could go a long ways with him, compliment him about it, okay? I was in a home yesterday, and truth be told, the people were very leery at the doorstep, okay? And I kind of had to soften them up a bit, make them laugh, use some humor and stuff. And once I got inside the home, I just complimented on just how calm and peaceful their home felt, you know? They had a really clean home, just, you know, some nice paintings and stuff, so I just complimented on that. Small compliment, but it was accurate, and I could tell that was something important to him. And the wife, she smiled at me and she said, "Thank you. Yeah, we put a lot of effort into having a nice home." And so honestly, that made a world of a difference for her, okay? Small, accurate compliments like that, they go a long way, especially when you're on the doors with strangers, okay? And then of course this applies, you know, with your more personal developed relationships with others, okay? If someone does something for me, look, I have an obligation, I have a duty to thank them for that, okay? Not only thank them, but let them know how it specifically benefited me, okay? Hey, babe, thanks so much for making a lunch for me today, okay? It actually saved me 30 minutes. I didn't have to stop at Beto's and get a burrito, and it probably saved me 5 pounds as well. You know, whatever it is, okay? And so make sure you're showing gratitude. Make sure that you have sincere compliments. make sure those compliments are accurate. Okay, you guys remember the Bill Walsh quote we shared yesterday?
Which remind me.
He was talking about there's nothing that develops a relationship more than a sincere, accurate compliment.
The
And there's
coach,
nothing,
the coach?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bill Walsh, the NFL coach. And there's nothing that can destroy a relationship more than a cookie cutter, inaccurate compliment. Okay? And so it does take discipline, it does take focus, effort, and energy, but look for ways that you can add value to people by complimenting them. Okay? Don't worry so much about making a good impression on others, but worry about them making a good impression on you. How can you make them feel good about the impression they're making? You know, what can you say in front of, you know, their peers, their acquaintances to make them feel good, okay? Some of the funnest people, like one of my best friends, his name's Sterling, every single time I'm with the guy in a crowd, he is always singing my praises, okay? He's always telling people just, whether it's, you know, fitness stuff or, you know, business stuff or, you know, whatever it is, he's just telling people how awesome he thinks I am, okay? It makes me feel amazing. I love being around Sterling. And I try to do the same thing for him when I'm around others in the crowd, okay? So remember that. Don't focus on yourself as much, but focus on how others are benefiting you, how you can make them feel good. Want to open up, what are some thoughts you guys have about this? You guys think that's true? Does that really make a difference? What do you guys think?
It really does help, like you said, break the ice, because you know you're essentially a stranger. You're knocking somebody's door, so if you can just compliment and just be sincere and keep it like, oh, it's a cute cat or something like that. And you know, especially if they have pets, people love their animals. Like sometimes they're a bit obsessive about them. But I think that's, you know, a good approach, and I know it's helped me in the past. And you just kind of break the ice and feel more comfortable, and I don't know, you can kind of feel the environment get better, and you know, like you said, you're able to close more deals practicing that.
Sometimes in personal relationships too, like with my wife, like give compliments all the time or like say thanks for lots of stuff, but it's different when you like actually take a second to like look them in the eye and like thank them or like praise them for something that's good that they did separately, and like you can see and feel the difference. So I could see it possibly working. Well, I could see it working on the doors too, you know.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it a ton, but
You will.
I could see
You
the
will.
transfer, yeah.
You will.
Yeah, there's thank you. People love to know that they're appreciated. They love to know that, you know, you have gratitude for what they're doing. John, you have something you want to share with it all?
I was thinking, like, when you first said, like, the first 30 seconds, I was like, oh, that's probably the first 30 seconds that you gotta impress them. Like, that was honestly what I thought.
Yeah.
But it's so true, like, in any relationship, I feel like it's, like, you brought up, like, talking to the spouse, like, that's, like, the most important person that you should have that practice with. But at the same time, like, in any other facet of your life, there should be that sense of people want to feel appreciated even if you don't know them, and so that first little bit that you're with them is huge. It's huge.
Awesome. Love that. Okay, so the 5-second rule, it's very simple, but you could also expound on it forever. Mel Robbins wrote an entire book about it, but it's this. As soon as you get any type of inkling, as soon as you get any type of inspiration to do something and you're maybe nervous to do it, whether it's, you know, giving someone a compliment to a stranger, whether it's, you know, sending a text message that you feel you need to send, whether it's making a phone call you need to do, whether it's hitting your alarm clock and getting out of bed, anytime you know you need to do something that's going to be of benefit to you or of benefit to others, and there's a hurdle, there's a little bit of a bump that you have to overcome, it's hard, it's difficult, I want you guys to implement this 5-second rule, okay? 5-second rule, it's simple. You give yourself a countdown in your head. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay? As soon as you get to go, you've made the decision. All right, you've made the decision to do it. Okay. The reason we count down and don't count up is that counting down is just it gives us no other option, right? If we count up, we go 5, 6, 7, 8, you know? Count down from 5, burn all the other bridges around you, don't give yourself any other option. You're going to make that specific decision. You're going to act on that inkling. You're going to act on that inspiration, okay? Works with getting out of bed, works with jumping into a workout that might be difficult. Man, I just need to do this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Let's make it happen. Works with making, a call that needs to happen. Maybe there's a hard conversation that we need to have with a business partner. Whatever it is, anytime you're sensing, that hesitation, you don't want to do it, but you need to, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay? You guys have heard the law of inertia, right? You guys know that idea that an object that is already in motion will stay in motion unless acted upon by another object, and an object at rest will stay at rest unless acted upon by another object. When we are in the momentum of doing something, it's very, very easy to keep doing that, okay? It's the same idea. If I'm riding a bike down a hill, okay, I got some speed going, and then I hit a bump, uphill bump, I want to be able to cruise over that bump because I already have that speed, okay? I already have that momentum. I'm just flying into it. It's the same idea. Sometimes we are at the bottom of the hill, we don't have any momentum, and it's just a bump. It's just an uphill climb, okay? That is when it is most difficult. That's when we have to use this 5-second rule. We don't have any momentum. We are laying at rest in bed. We gotta get up, we gotta move. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, okay? So just remind yourself of that. When you are at rest, when you're sitting comfortably, that is when you don't want to do things, okay? Man, I should get up and clean the house right now. I should do the dishes. My wife's getting ready to come home. Oh, but this football game is real nice and I'm real comfortable sitting on my couch right now, okay? You're in a vulnerable spot. You're in a vulnerable spot to not do what you know you should do because you are at rest, okay? You are the object at rest. Use this 5-second rule to get up, get some momentum, and get doing what you know you should do, okay? Is that helpful, guys? Okay, 5-second rule, changed my life. Listened to that book this summer. Had one of the greatest experiences of my life in my car listening to Mel Robbins' 5-second rule book. It's incredible, awesome book. Definitely recommend it. Okay, cool. Anything you guys want to share? Anything on your minds? Sweet. Okay, so I got something planned for the training. The training's going to be just twofold today, but before I jump into it, John, I know that you have some questions. Paul, you may have some questions, but I wanted to open it up for questions that you guys have.
One of my questions is just about, I got it twice, I don't know if it's rare, but just about foreign channels.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure I can close one for the Brazilian that I was talking about.
Yeah.
But just want to know like what other channels that we can add or in some of the packages.
Yeah. Okay, so the most common foreign channels you'll come across is Spanish programming. Okay. Spanish programming is simple. There's basically 3 packages, and Carlos, correct me if I'm wrong. There's basically 3 packages that we sell. There's the Mas Latino, which is the most basic, bare bone package. There's the Optimal Mas, which is probably the most frequent one that you'll sell to Spanish customers. And then there's the Mas Ultra, which is the higher package, more channels.
Sort of mimics like the choice package.
Okay.
So it's mainly Optimo and then Mas Ultra.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have another one, but nobody ever gets that
Like
one.
Lo Maximo or something.
Something that has just all the premium movie channels. Just
So it's Mas Ultra and Optimo.
Optimo Mas and Mas Ultra. Those are 2 that you'll hit. Optimo Mas is the equivalence of choice, select dish choice. Okay.
Select, yeah.
But it does have the Spanish
have
sports
Spanish
channels,
sports,
right? Okay. Okay. Most of the time you're safe to go with Optimo Mas, and that is the same pricing as Select.
Yes. Now you said you run into somebody that was Portuguese?
Yeah.
I don't know if we carry any Portuguese channels, but if they do like soccer,
Yeah.
we have a lot of soccer on there.
It's for
We do
an older lady.
we do carry Brazilian
Oh, really?
Portuguese channels.
Okay,
Yep.
very good.
Okay.
It's called TV Global. That's what they want. There's about 3 to 4 different channels. Most of it's sports and some of it's is news as well. But the Brazilian package, if you just do the TV Global add-on, it's $19.99 per month.
That's what they're paying with Dish right now.
Yep. It's probably that's their total bill on Dish.
No. It's
That's just
their
their
total
add-on.
bill is like 90 something.
Okay, yeah, that's their add-on. So
Or
you
no,
just
it's over 100 actually. Yeah.
You just add it on. It's the TV Global, $19.99 per month. If they want all the Brazilian channels, which is like 4 or 5 of them, you do the full Brazilian package add-on, and that's $29.99 per month.
Okay.
Okay. And they need an international dish. I already talked to Roan and Brandon. We have international dishes in the warehouse that the technician can use to install those Brazilian Portuguese programming accounts.
Okay.
And so just ask them, be like, do you guys get all the Brazilian channels? They say yes.
They pay for one channel.
Yep, it's just that TV Global, $19.99.
Okay.
Yep. So you'll be able to close that deal. And then just with the office, just specify, say they need the TV Global add-on, they need the international dish, and they'll notate it for the technician to get that squared away.
Okay.
But yeah, you will come across those occasionally. French channels, Dish Network does carry some French channels. I do not believe, last time I checked, DirecTV has French channels.
Okay.
Because I have run into that a couple times, and I just said,
This lady said she's like, she'll never change because she's like paying like 140 or something
Yeah.
crazy, and it's only because of the French. Like she knows
Yeah.
that she can save a ton of money. She's just like,
There's also Indian channels.
is it really?
Yeah, they're only specific with the Dish Network. To my knowledge, we don't carry them yet.
Okay. Cool.
yeah. Yeah, it's just kind of a base by base case, you
Yeah,
know. Just
super niche.
just let us know. Cool. Sweet. Any other questions you guys have? Coming across?
What about Dish or sorry, current direct customers that are out of contract?
It's just nothing we can do for them. You know, if their bill's high and their equipment's old, just say, sweet, call in 1-800-DIRECTV. They'd
Super.
love to upgrade your equipment and get you some better billing.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. All right, so 2 thoughts I have. First, I do want to go over just a few rebuttals to ease the tension that we come across. Because the very nature of this job, there's tension. We're strangers on people's doorsteps. People are leery, and that's totally fine. We take that in stride. We're going to put things in our arsenal to ease that tension. And then the other thing I want to talk about is creating urgency so that customers buy now, not tomorrow, not next week, not next year. Okay? Okay, so first thing, easing the tension, and specifically easing the tension on the doorstep. All right? This is something that I started using, and it's played really well in my favor on the doors with the customers that are leery and just, you know, they don't want to let me in their house. I give my door approach. I say, yeah, do you by chance know what receiver number you guys have? Okay, let's take a peek real quick. And they're like, whoa, no, like can you do it from here? I'd rather not you come in my house. I respond with something like this, and everyone will be different, but just play with it and see what you like. Like, oh no, I totally understand. Truth be told, I don't bite, okay? I'm not gonna bite you. And then I brushed my teeth this morning, so I promise my breath doesn't smell that bad. I just have to see what receiver number you guys are working with. That just indicates exactly what we can do for you, okay? If it's gonna benefit you, that's great. If not, I'll be out of your hair faster than your favorite shampoo, okay? Just drop those lines, all right? They're cheesy, they're lame, I know it. It's freaking weird and it sounds stupid, but those lines do ease the tension. I got into an additional 4 doors yesterday that I feel I wouldn't have gotten into if I didn't drop those lines, okay? And so what are some other lines, maybe some amusing, humorous things that you guys have used that have worked?
When you're asking for the receiver?
Yeah, and they're just like, no, like you're not coming to my house. How do you ease that tension? How do you get them to warm up to you?
I mean, I usually do most of the joking once inside of the home, but I just kind of just go back, take a step a little bit back, and say, I just gotta check on the receiver real quick. It'll just take me a second, and then I just kind of I take a different approach a little bit, where I kind of look down and I kind of wipe my feet sometimes.
Yeah.
That's something that, you know, I might try sometimes, or just look directly inside. But yeah, I should definitely try that. It's something that I haven't done.
I like that. Wipe the feet, point. Okay. You guys know what Carlos means when he says that?
Yeah.
You know, you're on the doorstep. Yeah, it just depends on the receiver box you guys are using. Do you by chance know the ID number on that? You know, you just point, wipe and point.
And you just want to practice it where it's natural.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely don't want to wipe your feet and just point right away.
Don't even say anything. You're just like,
Yeah. Just sign language it, right? But there are times when you still do that and they're just like, no, like, you're not coming to my house, you know? One phrase that Nate uses that I really like is, you said, don't worry, like, I know you didn't call me, okay? I know I'm a stranger at your door and this is kind of weird, but honestly, you guys do have some older equipment, okay? And I know your bill is high and it's kind of frustrating that bill has gone up over time. The only reason I'm here is to see if it's going to be a benefit to you, okay? I promise, you know, I'm harmless. I'm not going to do anything to you. I'm not going to take advantage of you. Let's just check real quick to see what you're on, to see if we can put you guys in a better situation. Paul?
I feel like a lot of times people, like, I've never had anybody say that to me, like, oh no, like, I don't want you coming to my house or anything like that. Like, and so it's hard to tell sometimes, just like, 'cause I'm not super good at reading people, like what they're thinking. If they're thinking like, no, I don't have time for this, or like, they're not thinking like, oh, this guy looks dangerous, you know,
Right,
or like
right.
sketched out, or if they're really just like don't want anything to do with it, just because they're not interested, you know.
Yeah, I've had that happen. Yesterday, I had that happen quite a bit actually, where people were, I can just tell they didn't have time. So they were just, oh no, we're good, thank you, bye. So I didn't get to that chance, you know.
Yeah.
But I know what you're trying to say is you sometimes just don't trust you or whatnot, but just feel confident, like, hey, you're just there to check your equipment. It's nothing more than that, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe that can help you ease the tension a little bit.
and like 9 times out of 10, they don't want you coming in their house. That's like,
Yeah.
that's
so
really
you
what
can
it is.
almost just assume that.
Yeah, and it's kind of just like bring it up. And it's cheesy, but I used to like, I would wear a watch and I would like say, well, you can time me. I just want to, and it was a different approach for a different cell, but it's the same principle. I'd like look at my watch and be like, you can just time me, take 5 minutes. Anything after that, right at the 5-minute mark, you can get your best broom, and I would do the whole thing. Like, get your best broom and chase me out of your house. I'll do that one. And then I would do one where I have like we had binders too. And I had my phone, and I would do, I would just have my binder like this, and I'd have my phone like this, and then it'd open. I would do my whole approach, and then I would just be like this, and just kind of like pick it up. And I used to have a bag too that I would do something similar.
Yeah.
Just put it down and just be on your phone and just pick it up and then kind of
Pick it up, indicating you're going in. Yeah, yeah. I like that.
But and that one worked. And I also had a bag too, certain parts of selling that I would pick up, indicating like I'm getting ready to come in.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they just like kind of step back and like come on in, kind of. But usually too, like there's, even when you like walk in like that, there's still like, it's still a little bit weird. And so I like to like stop in their doorway and just like ask real quick, hey, do you want to take my shoes off? Is that okay? Or I'll look at something and I'll just stop and be like, that is so cool. Where'd you guys take this picture? And it just kind of like right away they're like, okay, he's human. Like,
Gotcha.
Yeah, you just show them you're human. Honestly, that's one of the best pieces of advice I can give. You can do that through humor. You can do that through compliments. You can do that through asking questions of things that are already in their home. They just, initially, they're gonna view you as a salesman. You need to maybe do something, pull something out to ease that tension. And you'll get better and better at it, at reading people, the more experience you get. But just bear in mind that, you know, people don't want you in their house, and you can just go into it, manage that expectation. Like, okay, you know, they don't want me in their house. I already have that expectation. I need to do some things to get in. I got to be a little crafty, a little creative with it. But is that helpful, guys? That kind of give you some more things to put in your arsenal to use. Use humor. Use, you know, questions outside of the primary objective of why you're there. Compliments, those are huge. I love the broom idea. look, I know you're in a hurry, okay? I'll time it. After 5 minutes, you can grab your favorite broom and just brush me out of your house, okay? I'm gonna be real quick with you. I'm not gonna take too much of your time. Your time is as precious as mine, all right? We got that mutual respect. Let's see if we can put you guys in a better situation. Okay. All right, so urgency. And I actually wanna ask John about this because for those who didn't know, John had his first day on the doors yesterday and he closed 2 deals. So first off, let's give him a round of applause. So John, you literally only had like 2 or 3 hours to knock yesterday. You closed 2 deals. That's awesome. I mean, that's a great percentage right there. What do you do to create urgency? How did you get those customers to buy now, not tomorrow, not next week, not next year? What are some tips you have for us?
They both didn't want to do it right then. They both were older couples. Both the husband and wife were there. It was like the perfect scenario not to leave without a sale. But they both were in that moment where they're like, we just like to think about things. That was like what they both said. And the biggest thing that I did was I just kept reminding them how much they're paying. And then I would just say, I don't want to waste your guys' time by me coming back. Because we literally have a couple families that we got to get to today that we're trying to do the same thing and help them save some money. So let me just basically retell you what we're going to do. And then I would usually have this written up, and then I would just show them. And be like, so we're gonna get you the savings here, and then was it you that shows them on the phone? Because I did that like all day
yesterday.
yesterday.
Them the big number.
I did it all day yesterday.
Especially with seniors, that works a lot because most of them are on a fixed income.
And then you see it.
So they know numbers. Like every first and third of the month is like a big thing for them.
Yeah.
They got to pay their bills and.
And that's what I did. I was like, so you guys are paying 112 right now, and I just did it like over a year. I'm like, so that's what you guys are paying, okay? And then I'd go back and put 112, and then I would minus the whatever it was their bill was going to be, and then I would just do that. I'm like, so this is what you're actually going to save for that first year. I'm like, I don't know what you would do with that money, but I got like 5 things I can tell you right now what I would do with that money.
That's great.
And then I would just be like, so again, we're going to save you the money, and then also what we're doing is we're going to get you that Visa card that I mentioned. I would just basically re-say it, and then be like, so that makes sense to you, right? And then they'd be like, yeah. And be like, for me, honestly, like, I'm here just to save you guys some money, see if we can make it better of a benefit for you guys. So what I'll do is I can just make a quick call in and just make sure everything's straight. Would that make sense for you guys to move forward and just have us do that? And then after that was like my okay, let's like get real here. That was like my last punch at it. Not like I was gonna stop then, but that was like, come on, like, because like most of their concerns are like, we just want to think about it. And he, like the first one that I got, I was there for way too long. But the guy was like, he had all these coupons for Comcast, he had all these coupons even for DirecTV, for Dish. And so he was like comparing them all, and I was like, it looks like you guys see kind of what's already here. So that scenario was pretty good, but the second one really was, they were just leery that I was there, and they were just kind of filling me out the whole time. And I just told them, like, look, I've already been to another family that had the same exact package you guys had with Dish. They just weren't super happy with it because, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but your bill's gone up, right? And that was honestly like the 3rd time I said that. And like, it's not uncommon for you to have to like remind them why you're there. So for me, it's like keeping those things that they know is important to them, whether it's money or whether it's the receiver sucks or whatever it is. And I don't know like still jack squat about satellite, guys. I really don't. Like, I don't have it, I'll never have it. Like, I just don't know that much about it. But I know that like if you show them money and how much they're like not getting because of it, like I basically told them, like, let's say you do this for 2 years, you're still gonna save X amount. And I'm like, you're gonna get all your same channels. And the lady looked at her husband and she was like, I'm okay with it. And then he was like, yeah, I'll save some money. And then we started doing the paperwork, and after the paperwork, that was like the hardest part for them, and they were all smiles. They walked me out and they're like, that wasn't that hard. And
Best
like,
friend.
exactly. It's because we're saving, I think they're saving like $560 a year or something like that for that first year. But for me, it's just about, and this is what I like saw from you a lot, is they would say pretty much the same thing, just sometimes different, and you just like keep reminding them like, oh, that's cool. So you basically feeling this way, okay, cool. Well, here's what we're doing, and then you basically just tell them like what you know. They're kind of like the reason why they let you in. And so for me, like that part of urgency, even though one of them took way too long, the other one was like 23 minutes, and I met up with you guys right after. It was like right at a time where I was like, I gotta get in this house and sell. And it was all about just like, here's what you guys are gonna get, a couple of rebuttals they're basically saying, and then just giving it to them like for like a third or fourth time, but just like in different ways to where it's not repetitive, I guess. Or that's what I did yesterday. I got a lot of refining I got to do, but I feel like the success came from just like sticking in that pocket, I guess, of like helping them understand like what they're really either going to miss out onto or what they're going to jump on with. For me, so.
Absolutely. Dude, a couple things I want to highlight from what you said. I love that you got everything in writing and you showed it to them visually.
Yeah.
Okay? People pick things up cerebrally in different ways, okay? It varies, all right? People are visual learners, people are verbal learners. There's several different varieties of how people learn, how they actually connect things in their mind, okay? John was saying it vocally. You know, this is what's going to happen. This is what we're going to do. And then to add more validity and legitimacy to his message, if that wasn't sinking in, he got it in writing. He got it in paper, okay? There's so much power in that, all right? When you feel that what you're saying out loud isn't enough, that it's not sticking, it's not really resonating with the customer, put it down on paper. Put it down on paper. Say, look, this is what you're at right now, write it out. This is what we're getting it to, okay? I got everything down in writing. That's a set rate. That's guaranteed in stone for you, okay? Makes a huge difference. I can't tell you how much of a difference that makes. When you feel like your words aren't sticking, put your words on paper, okay? The other thing I love about that is, guys, I'll say this until I'm blue in the face. This job is so simple. When I'm in customers' home, I'm just repeating the same stuff I always say. I'm just saying it in a different, more creative way. Same thing John's saying. He's repeating himself, but he's changing it, tweaking it a little bit so it doesn't sound annoying, okay? Sometimes it takes 7 times of you saying they're gonna save money on their bill for it to actually click in their mind, okay? I'll go through a presentation and say 5 or 6 times throughout my presentation they're gonna get the same channels. And then I'm like, sweet, like, what questions do you guys have? They will then ask me, am I gonna get the same channels, all right? Things just don't click with people. That's just how it is, all right? Be patient with that. Manage that expectation. Know going into it that that's how people are going to respond. Okay, that's just how we are as humans, that we don't pick up on things right away. And go the distance, do what it takes to explain it again. Be patient. Yes, I checked what you got. You're gonna get a mirror image of everything you already have, okay?
And to add to that, especially with older folks, I tend to do this. I can't remember what book I read this on, where most of the learning happens when the customer can actually take a couple of seconds to hear you out. So what happens is usually with an old customer or older people, I'll kind of tell them, you know, hey, this and that, and then I'll take a couple seconds and just kind of let them think about it for a second and then move on so they can kind of understand me. Because like you say, you might catch yourself that you keep saying the same thing over and over. So that's one of the things that, you know, I implement, especially with old folks, because, you know, they kind of harder hearing or something, and just pause as you're telling them the presentation, or when you're talking about what they're gonna get in return, the channels, their savings. That way they can process that in their mind and get everything that way. In the end, hopefully you don't have that. You're not gonna get the same channels or anything else.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I really like that. I listened to Brian Tracy yesterday, just like the Ben Franklin close.
Yeah.
And I think that would help a lot with older people. Just having it write it down and then just giving it to them and say, just write the cons that you think of, and then there's your decision.
Yeah.
That's how I learned the good old T in my notebook. I always carry a notebook, Spartan notebook, and ever since I worked here, started working, I always use the same thing. I'll put on the left side, I'll put what they're paying in one eye, and on the right side, I'll put what we're saving in, and just show it to them and say, look, this is what we're going to do, and you know, it always works, the pros and cons and whatnot. Eliminate those, and that's definitely a good close.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, anything else on creating urgency you guys want to go over? Be sure to use the right language. You know, this is what we're doing today. Okay, this is what's going on. Be sure to assure them. What's up, Brian? How you doing? Good to see you. Let them know it's a seamless, quick, convenient process. They don't have to wait around all day for the technician. I mean, how nice was it? You got to sell. Sean Barnum shows up 30 minutes later. He installs your job.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's cool.
I mean, guys, that bar none, that might be the most awesome thing about our job. Okay. The reason people don't do this more often is because it's such a hassle to change. All right. You can look every single customer in the eye and they'll tell you that. Say, yeah, I've seen the commercials. I just don't do it because I don't know what I'm doing and I don't want to have to deal with the hassle. So I just stick with what I got. Okay. That's why we keep anything that we have, okay? I had T-Mobile for the longest time. I was getting raped on my bill. I couldn't stand the service. I couldn't get calls anywhere else in the country besides right here in Utah County. And I never changed just because it was a hassle. Finally, I was approached by someone that said, dude, you need to get Verizon because it's better, all right? And I'm gonna take care of it right now for you. It's gonna take 10 minutes. I said, done, let's do it, all right? That's what you are. You are a facilitator and you're dealing with all the hassle of change so the customer doesn't have to do it. That is truly the service that you're providing, is you are a facilitator, okay? And so you cannot over-explain and overemphasize that benefit too much. Look, I know you've been thinking about this, okay? The best part, the beauty in what I'm doing is I'm taking care of everything for you, so you don't have to do a thing. That's the service I'm providing for you right now. You sit back on your couch, point to where the TVs are at for the technician, he'll take it from there, okay? Only thing you gotta do is just return that old equipment when the return kit gets here, all right? How awesome is that? How incredible is the service that we provide for customers, okay? So remember that, emphasize that when you are in customers' homes. This is a convenient, seamless, easy thing. You're not gonna have to deal with any of the hassle of change, okay? Awesome, okay, so those are some tips on urgency. Anything else you guys want to share as far as creating urgency? John, I love the tips, by the way, man. Love it. I'm gonna get you to take my position, dude.
Yeah, once I crank out 4 a day, every day.
Okay, awesome. Okay, that's it, Dow. We're good on the training.